From Blackout Eid to the Secret Sahaba, this is Rude to Black Girls at Farah and Afnan. So we're representing everyday Black millennial women of multiple faith, cultures, and Eid fits. Hey, Afnan. So
Hey.
it's Eid. We have 3 days of Eid, and we took a little hiatus. So thank you for all the people who watch Rooted Black Girls for allowing us that time to take in and digest the last 10 days of Ramadan. We're trying to come back with a vengeance. We got full glam, y'all. I set myself. I've never done that before.
You look really good, mashallah.
You look amazing. And I see you with your Zia, so thanks for supporting.
I had to rep the Zia. This is the Ode to Our Mothers collection, right?
Yes.
Yes, I love this. So if you guys don't know, Farah has a full line that she co-owns with Nesma, and it's a beautiful dinner line. And so I actually don't have any dinner. And so we were talking before we got on here about how this is like a very important moment and like your womanhood almost, like I'm starting my own dinner collection. So if you guys
collection. And that's the whole premise of Ode to Our Mothers collection was like, hey, we have to start our own collection, start our own traditions. We're rising from our parents' tradition. Yeah. So I appreciate you being a supporter and even wearing it on Rooted Black Girls today. Yeah. So otherwise, like, how have you been, Afnan, like in these last 10 days? And now it's Eid. I know you guys had a beautiful picnic yesterday, you and Fred, mashallah.
It turned out so nice. Extra as always. But it was super nice. I was on Pinterest like our second week of Ramadan, and I was talking to Fred, and I was like, I really don't think that we're going to be out of the quarantine before Eid. Like, we got to figure out a way to make it special by ourselves.
Yeah.
And so all of our normal traditions we couldn't normally do, and so we saw a lot of really cute ideas on Pinterest of these like elaborate picnics, and I was like, we could totally do that. And then we were thinking of going to Piedmont Park, but since then the governor has opened the state, and it's been crazy, and I was like, we're not going anywhere.
Piedmont Park is like an amusement park.
It's crazy. I was not prepared to see it on social media, and I'm glad we didn't even try it. And so we found like a grassy spot outside of our house, and we had all the privacy, alhamdulillah, nobody, like no running, screaming children or crazy footballs or anything running around. So alhamdulillah, it was good. But what did you guys do?
So I didn't do much yesterday. I really did take advantage of the 3 days of Ramadan. I was like, okay, we gonna act up tomorrow. But I was grateful about the last 10 days of Ramadan. I really tried to make some intentions, and it was a little easier to execute when I wasn't at that like this area in my phone where I'm just clicking Instagram all the time. Yeah. So, I remember contacting both you and Nesma and being like, are you guys okay if I take like time off? And I had to ask permission because I definitely respect you too. And so you guys allowed me that, and I really appreciated it. And, I just talked to Nesma. She was like, wow, you come back with a vengeance because I was doing some Zia taping earlier.
Yeah, no, mashallah. I really was like happy that you reached out about the time, because I know you're very disciplined, mashallah, and like how you execute your work. And so I was like, oh, look at that. She's creating some boundaries and she's asking for what she needs. I see you, Farah. I see you.
It's like, yeah, I may have quit therapy, but I probably need to start back up. Oh, we're trying to do a little better here.
Doing your work. That's amazing, mashallah. But I honestly, I ended up really making use of the time as well. So thank you for kind of setting that precedent, and we're super excited to be back.
Yes, we're the Black Girls. We're here. We're in here. So with Eid, 3 days of Eid, I was really thinking about family traditions, both old and new. And I was kind of reflecting back on what we used to do growing up. And ironically, when we were growing up, Eid used to be around Christmas time. So I remember like getting gifts. And I think one of my favorite gifts, I don't know if it was either Adam's or my own, because our lives were like so interconnected. Yeah. I'm like, his gift was my gift, But I remember we had like this basketball poster with the like large head. And I remember Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic. So that was one of my favorite posters, one of my favorite gifts growing up. But it was interesting because I always used Eid as an opportunity when people are like, what did you get for Christmas? I didn't really necessarily tell them like it was Eid, and I was like proud and loud about it. I just would be like, well, I got this gift because it just perfectly matched with, like, Christian holidays. But yeah, we weren't a big tradition family. I think some of our biggest traditions were like clean the house like vigorously. It was like spring cleaning, no such thing. It was Eid cleaning.
Eid cleaning.
Yeah.
Like campaign. Every closet, every nook, cranny, ceiling, cobweb. Yeah.
Yeah, like baseboards. My dad would get like warm water, and he was like, "Okay, clean the baseboard." So I still do it today.
Yes.
Yeah, so that we would always get donuts, either like Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts. And remember that when you had that feeling of like finally putting something in your mouth in the morning, and it felt both good but like dangerous, you know?
Yeah. Because you've been so used to fasting. Yeah.
So that's something. But that's about it. There was no set tradition. What about you for like old traditions growing up?
Yeah. So when my parents were together and like our families were blended, it looked very different than when I was with my dad, and that looked very different when I was with my mom. So we had like 3 different sets of Eid almost that we'd run through. Like when we were really young, all of the cousins would get together, and you guys know there's a gang of us, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, so I remember being at my grandparents' house, Allah yarhamhum, and we would get wrapped gifts and we would eat breakfast together, and it was always just like beautiful chaos is how I like to describe
yeah.
it. Just like everybody's in their cute outfits and the family's trying to take pictures and cake and all the stuff.
Mhm.
And then as we got older at my dad's house, we were always like with the masjid in the community, doing the prayer, because my dad's side of the family was a lot more in the Muslim community. My mom was more solo dolo. She had like maybe her one friend.
Mhm.
And so as I got older living with my mom, the traditions actually weren't nearly as much as when we were younger, right? Like there were certain foods that we always ate and things like that that we just didn't do with my mom.
Mhm.
And so as an adult now, I'm super grateful that I kind of had all of those experiences, because
Yeah.
now we kind of get to pick and choose. But what about you? Like, are you still carrying those old traditions, or have you included some new
Yes.
ones? Or
I definitely am someone who de-stresses from cleaning. So cleaning is definitely kept on my Eid tradition. My
yeah,
brother married this beautiful young lady by the name of Amnia, and her family has a beautiful tradition of doing a game called Secret Sahaba. So it's
wait, what?
her family's been doing this. She has a very large family, lots of siblings, and so they do Secret Sahaba, much like what's that game?
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa, yes. And so we all exchange names, and my brother's in Canada with his wife and the baby, and we all like exchanged gifts. This is our first Secret Sahaba as like the Gulade clan, Yasin clan. So I think moving forward, I'd love to do that, in incoming
I
years.
might steal that. Ask her if we can do that too. I love that idea. Secret Sahaba.
Yeah, and it's not burdensome, it's not like you have to get a gift for each person and multiple gifts, because when I see Christmas, as much as I love y'all and like all my Christian homies, they like go in on Christmas, and I'm like, this feels burdensome. Oh my God, like you got to get a gift for each person in your family. Each person gets a gift, but I always love the idea of Secret Santa because it's like everyone got to participate, and Secret Sahaba just fits right in line with my like low stress kind of let me get one person a gift style.
Yeah, I love that. We were thinking about doing something similar, but we didn't think about it until like maybe the second or third week of Eid, and with like shipping delays right now, it was hard. But I think that's something that we'll do as well. I saw someone do something really interesting, and they took like traditional. It was on Instagram. Instead of wrapping the gifts, they used
Uh-huh.
traditional cloth, right? So they use like like the materials that you would almost like make like ditters out of, and that was what the girls used, and then like the I forget what they're called, but they use that for like the boys' gifts, and it was very traditional. And some had like African prints on it, and I was like, I love the recycling of that. Like, oh, this material has been used in our family to wrap gifts for this many years, so there's not like that, wasteful. Sometimes it can be like excessive with bows and stuff. So I love that idea. So I think I might incorporate something like that as well.
Yeah, some sustainable things. Now, what about you this year? Did you guys incorporate something new to your kind of new family traditions?
So what we decided to do is usually we do like a breakfast, right? With like the entire family, but obviously like because of social distancing, we weren't able to do that. And so we had planned from a while ago to do like a really special like a late dinner, right? So like something between like lunch and dinner. And we decided to go outside because it's the summer.
Yeah.
Um, and then that was pretty much it. Outside of the decorations, like we really tried to make our best with the decorations. I still have not gotten my decorations. Do you know the ones that I bought like in February? They still have not got here. They said the end of June.
They're like not essential.
Yeah. So whatever. But we had planned to like decorate a lot more. And so, that's kind of something that we've added to making sure that we decorate. And then also sweets. We decided that we
I
want
saw that. That was so cute.
Thank you. And so we want to try adding more sweets into, because like the Eid dessert tables are always like the most coveted thing. You know what I mean? Like even if you guys do the breakfast, it's like where's the goodies? And my mom is really great at making like traditional like kunafa and stuff like that, or
Wow.
from or ma'amul from scratch. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna slowly develop my skills and get better. But this year it was just like cake and
Yeah.
sweet.
It looks super good regardless.
Thank you.
I'm like, if you give me sugar and like anything vanilla or buttercream, like you're good in my book.
Vanilla bean has been my latest obsession. So good.
I saw you mix it. Do you have a KitchenAid?
Yeah, I got it for my wedding. That was like one of the big things, the only big things I had on my registry.
Yeah.
My aunt was like, "You need one. You have to cook
I,
for your family." I was like, "Thank
I know. I'm like, I was baking cookies the other day and I was like, I need a KitchenAid. Like I was over here, but I only bake like once a year, so probably
you."
not. But um, the girls were out last night because I was so surprised to see how people just came out for Blackout Eid. Like they looked
Yeah.
amazing in their backyards mostly. I didn't see anyone in like large gatherings outside of their immediate family, but
Right.
everyone looked so amazing.
Yeah. I love the photos from the hashtag. There was a girl who did a TikTok, excuse me, and she said, "We're gonna try something new in quarantine Eid," and she's like, "I'm gonna rate my family," and it was so cute. She was roasting her brother for his what she called him, the Moses ones, right? Because he had she's like, "You get a 6 out of 10 because then nobody tell you to put those shoes on."
Oh
And
no.
then rated her mom. It was so cute. And her other sister, she's like, "I'm a 12 out of 10 because I'm the Beyonce out of the group." It was hella cute, mashallah. But I just love the creativity and even the festivities. Like you would have thought people had invited, like the feast tables were still out, the makeup was on 10, the outfits were on 10, and I love that. I love that we still celebrated, and it was awesome. Did you see anything particular on the internet?
I saw that one of my beautiful friends, Narmina, got engaged,
I
married
saw that, and
yesterday.
I
Yeah, she
was
had her
literally
nikah.
screaming. Fred was like, "What is going on?"
I know. So I was like, people are, making things festive the best way that they could, considering the times. And I thought that was really nice. I think I kind of was low key in this depressed state lately, and so going into Eid, I was like super chill. I was like, let me just clean, let me do the secret Sahaba. But it made my spirits. It was so nice to see everyone because it increased my spirits, alhamdulillah. And then I came in kind of strong on day 2 of Eid. We have one more day to show out.
Yeah, no, for real. And then I was super excited that today is actually Memorial Day here in the United States.
I know.
And I was like, this is the first year in a while that we've gotten 4th of July and Memorial Day. Usually we miss one or the other. And I love the spring. I love the summer. And I love cheeseburgers. You guys know, like, my favorite food is cheeseburgers.
That's my favorite food.
We get along, sis.
That's hilarious.
So I'm super excited. So apparently in a full beat today, we're about to go outside in a little bit and do some burgers. So
Nice.
we're thinking we should do like a social distancing picnic. Like you stay your 6 feet, I stay my 6 feet, right?
Yes.
I think that'd be fun.
Do that. So I think this would have been the most epic Eid ever because it was on the Memorial Day holiday.
Yeah.
And so it's unfortunate that we can't spend it all together because I often forget to take Eid off from work. So I'm always the sucker who's at work over there, while everyone's having the best time at the masjid. I know. Always forget. I know, it's unacceptable. So then this would have been the year where I would have been able to go to the masjid, but alhamdulillah, Allah knows best, right? But alhamdulillah. So we're going to go into post-Ramadan, kind of what are we going to be doing? And what I saw, which was hella funny on Twitter, someone said, after Corona is like the new inshallah. And when I saw that, I was like, they never lied. Yeah. So I have no huge plans about like post Ramadan. I think I'm just going to continue to take everything day by day. Super grateful that we're here. The people that I know, alhamdulillah, have all remained healthy despite being in like hot spots for Corona. I think I still want to be diligent, but also continue to be kind to myself when I have those moments of like depressed periods, just to like work through it and live through it and then come out, higher and better at the end of it, God willing.
Yeah.
No,
I love the. So for those of you guys who actually don't know what the whole inshallah thing is, basically meaning God willing. And so there's like this joke in the Muslim community that when your mom wants to tell you no, but she's not going to tell you flat out no, she'll say inshallah, right? So oh, mom, can I go to my friends? Inshallah, you can go. But you knew that meant no.
You're like,
So I love that now. It's like, oh, after COVID, we're going to do this and this and this. This is like, when is this really going to be over? So I love that. So you guys know that we were actually supposed to be moving to Dallas last month. But obviously, because of COVID, we've put that on halt because, you know, we're not in Texas right now. So so there's that. We still have to kind of get through that and figure out what we're going to be doing. And honestly, like, I want to get back on my fitness journey. So once quarantine really happened, I told myself, because, you know, I was on my fitness thing. I was just trying to get back into it before all this happened. And I was like, forget it. You know, I got to pick and choose my battles. And that's something that I'm working on myself this year, is trying not to do all things all the time on 10. And so fitness was one of those things I let go of. And I was like, I'm going to be kind to myself. You know, if I'm going to be fasting, I'm just going to try to eat in the house. So this is the longest time, but I'm making a confession to you. This is the longest time in my adult life I have not had any fast food. Like since March, we have not, like, no Chick-fil-A, nothing outside. Like, even like, you know, if you go to Publix and you get like those sandwiches made, nothing. If there's nothing, nope. If it's not like packaged, it's not like packaged, like, you know, something out of like the fridge or whatever, no, or we made it from scratch. So this is, and Fred is the same thing for Fred. The longest time in our adult lives, we have not had fast food, right? So subhanAllah, I was actually able to maintain my weight pretty well. And so
I'm like 7 pounds in, girl.
Really? MashaAllah. It looks really good on you though. I wouldn't have noticed.
The height. I thank God every day.
Yeah, no, like if I gain 7 pounds, it's like all right here. We're all right. So I'm trying to get back on my fitness. I'm trying to, you know, and I told myself, you know, in order to kind of pace myself, I'm not going to force myself to eat super clean right now. So I will be eating cheeseburgers and cake on my timeline. And I don't want to hear your mouths about, I thought you were on your fitness journey. I
might have to come by and pull up and get a container.
Yeah. We haven't dropped off food in a while. So I think we should probably try to get back to that.
You let me know.
I got you. But is there anything that you're planning to do, like after COVID, anything, you know, special or just in general that you're adjusting to?
No, not at all. There's something in me that wants to just move abroad, but I just don't know how to execute that, especially because a lot of countries are not allowing US citizens into their countries, rightly so. So, you know, I'm just going to take everything day by day. I did go back to work last week where I actually started seeing scheduled non-emergent patients. And so,
how was that?
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Just kind of the clean down procedure that we have. We're wearing masks all day. So that's an 8-hour day where I'm like,
listen, those N95, I finally got my hands on one, alhamdulillah. Like, they literally leave marks on my face after like 15 or 20 minutes. And like, when you take it off, I can smell everything all at once. I don't know how you guys are wearing that all day.
It's so interesting. And so I'm lucky enough where I have an office space where there's no one in there, so I can just take it off. But when I'm seeing patients, I'm fully garbed up. And so it's a lot. And I had to go see a patient that was in kind of a quarantine room the other day. And when I tell you I was like suited, like glasses, it took so long. Like all the nurses were like helping me put on the PPE to see the patient. Wow. I know, but what's interesting is anecdotally, you know, I've noticed that a lot of healthcare providers, when they're testing for the antibody test, are getting negative results. And I was talking to my cousin who works in the emergency room, and she said that that's also what she's noticing. So I think
for us that are not in the healthcare profession, break that down for us. Help us out, like me.
So because we're wearing the protective material, a lot of healthcare providers are not getting sick or getting or not becoming positive for COVID. So it shows that the protective material is working. And so super grateful for that. My results for my antibody tests, which means was I infected and was I an asymptomatic carrier of COVID? And now I have circulating surveyors to kind of figure out if a new COVID infection has entered me, which is a positive thing. It's something that you want. You want surveyors in your body to kind of be able to recognize coronavirus. And right now, because it's a novel coronavirus, we have no surveyors. So if it infects us, it has a longer time to kind of build this huge immune response that can potentially hurt us and perhaps kill us. And so that's the whole story about antibodies. And so I did get the antibody test. I didn't get the corona test because I thought, hey, I'm at risk every day. So I did get the antibody test. I get it back on like Wednesday, Thursday, inshallah. God willing.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Yeah. See, y'all see how the inshallah works, right?
Yeah.
No, but alhamdulillah, like I'm really glad. You know, the whole thing about COVID is just, you know, trying to find balance and normalcy. And I salute you for doing that your own way. Honestly, you've inspired me. You know, just trying to take things slow and being a little bit more chill. You know, I'm adopting some of the Farah ways and it's helped a lot.
I have noticed that you have been so like relaxed and really allowing things to come to you. And I think it's still in the Afnan way where you're still an excellent planner and your platings and settings look great. But I think you are kind of being kinder to yourself and really executing things at the best way possible for you.
Yeah. And I try to adopt I appreciate that recognition, because I've really been thinking between you and Dr. Duyon, like that, those conversations were really key for me. And I was like, what happens if I really just change my perspective about like what good looks like, right? And so, alhamdulillah, everything's been working out
You
really
know what's
well.
so funny? My brother, I was talking to him, he was like, yeah, like Dr. Duyon said. So I'm like, if we're hitting one person with these conversations,
Alhamdulillah.
then alhamdulillah, we've done our justice here.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. We have for you guys today. We hope that you guys had a blessed and amazing Ramadan and Eid celebration. Remember, it's 3 days, so live it up today and tomorrow. Enjoy your guys' holiday. If you guys like this episode, make sure you rate and review us. And if you guys are checking us out on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed and following our Instagram at Rooted Black Girls. But until next time, peace.
Bye, y'all.